King Oscar's kingdom was the envy of neighboring realms, a land of plenty and peace. Its prosperity was largely attributed to the ancient treasure chest that held invaluable artifacts, relics of a bygone era that symbolized the kingdom's heritage and power. These artifacts were believed to possess magical properties that ensured the kingdom's well-being. One fateful morning, King Oscar discovered that the key to this chest had gone missing. The chest, a symbol of stability and pride, had remained securely locked for generations, and the loss of its key was more than just a practical problem. It was a threat to the kingdom's sense of security. Oscar, a wise and fair ruler, knew that this was a matter of utmost urgency. In his royal decree, King Oscar promised a grand reward to anyone who could recover the key. The announcement was made from the castle's towering balcony, and word of the lost key quickly spread across the kingdom and beyond. The castle's grand hall was filled with a throng of hopefuls. Knights in shining armor, their chests adorned with medals and emblems of valor, stood shoulder to shoulder with scholars holding ancient scrolls. Adventurers from far-off lands, equipped with maps and mysterious gadgets, listened intently as King Oscar detailed the reward for finding the key. The king's proclamation was clear. The finder would be richly rewarded, not only with gold and jewels but also with honor and prestige. The announcement sparked a wave of excitement and competition. Everyone had their theories and strategies, and the kingdom buzzed with anticipation. With the king's proclamation fresh in their minds, the searchers set out. The knights, known for their bravery, ventured into the dense, uncharted forests that bordered the kingdom. They believed that the key might have been lost during a raid or a battle, so they combed through every thicket and glade. The scholars retreated to their libraries, meticulously studying old texts and manuscripts. They believed that the key might have historical or mystical significance that could be found in ancient records. Their days were spent deciphering old languages and searching for hidden clues in dusty tomes. Adventurers with a penchant for exploration turned their attention to the kingdom's more remote and enigmatic locations. They entered hidden caves, climbed rugged mountains, and navigated treacherous swamps, hoping that the key might be hidden in one of these forgotten places. Despite their extensive efforts and resources, none of these methods yielded any results. The key remained hidden, and as days turned into weeks, frustration grew among the searchers. The initial enthusiasm among the searchers began to wane. The knights, accustomed to physical challenges, faced exhausting conditions and harsh weather. Their once hopeful spirits were dampened by the realization that the key was nowhere in sight. The scholars' optimism also dimmed as their research proved fruitless. They struggled to reconcile their theories with a lack of evidence, and their once clear clues seemed to lead nowhere. The adventurers, too, were met with obstacles. Many of the caves and wilderness areas they explored were either barren or revealed nothing of significance. The sheer scale of their task left them disheartened and weary. The once bustling excitement of the search was replaced by a sense of despair. The kingdom's mood shifted from hopeful to anxious, as the people began to fear that the key might never be found. Amidst the gloom, a young girl named Dora, only 10 years old, heard of the king's lost key. Dora was an orphan who lived on the outskirts of the castle grounds with her elderly grandmother. She had no grand ambitions, no wealth, and no scholarly knowledge, but she possessed a remarkable curiosity and a keen observational skill. Dora was captivated by the story of the lost key. Her grandmother often told her stories of the kingdom's treasures, and the idea of such an artifact being lost intrigued her. Despite the general skepticism surrounding her involvement, Dora decided to try her hand at finding the key. She had nothing to lose and everything to gain from the experience. Dora began her search by focusing on the castle itself. While the knights and scholars had meticulously searched the more prominent areas, Dora chose to explore the less obvious spots. She started with the rooms and spaces around the castle that seemed mundane but could have easily been overlooked. With a simple but methodical approach, Dora checked storage rooms, servant quarters, and old and used chambers. She used her knowledge of the castle's layout, gained from her grandmother's stories and her own observations, to guide her. Dora's approach was grounded in the belief that the key might be hidden in plain sight, not buried in remote locations or encoded in ancient texts. Dora's search was not driven by elaborate theories, but by a straightforward determination to find the key. She believed that the answer might be closer than everyone thought. One afternoon, as Dora explored the king's study, a small, overlooked drawer caught her eye. It was a drawer that had been ignored by the more experienced searchers, who had likely focused on more conspicuous places. Dora's intuition told her to investigate this seemingly insignificant drawer. To her amazement, Dora found the lost key nestled inside. The key, with its intricate design, had been hidden in a simple drawer, a location so obvious that it had been overlooked by the more complex search methods. Dora's discovery was a testament to the power of straightforward thinking and attention to detail. With the key in hand, Dora rushed to the grand hall where King Oscar was holding a meeting. The king's eyes widened in disbelief and joy as Dora presented the key. The crowd erupted in astonished cheers and applause. King Oscar, overwhelmed with relief and gratitude, praised Dora for her ingenuity. He honored her with the promised reward: gold, jewels, and a place of honor in the kingdom. The recovery of the key was celebrated with a grand feast, and the entire kingdom rejoiced at the return of their treasured artifacts. Dora's success was not just about the material reward, but also about the profound lesson she taught. The simplicity of her approach had achieved what the elaborate methods could not. Her modesty and determination endeared her to everyone, and her story became a symbol of innovative thinking. In the days following the celebration, King Oscar and his advisors reflected on the search for the key. The knights, scholars, and adventurers came together to discuss their experiences and the lessons learned. They realized that their focus on complex methods and grand theories had led them to overlook the most obvious solution. The simplicity of Dora's approach was recognized as a powerful lesson. The searchers acknowledged that while their methods were thorough, they had failed to consider that sometimes the answer is right in front of them. This realization brought a sense of humility and a newfound respect for straightforward problem-solving. Dora's reward was not only material but also symbolic. She was given a special place in the kingdom, not just as a finder of the key, but as a representative of fresh thinking and innovation. Her contributions were recognized publicly, and she became an inspiration for others. The kingdom celebrated not just the recovery of the key but also the valuable lesson learned from Dora's success. Her story became a parable that would be shared for generations, emphasizing the importance of considering simple solutions alongside complex strategies. The kingdom took to heart the lessons from the search for the key. The people learned that solutions are often simpler than anticipated, and that focusing solely on complexity can lead to missed opportunities. The story of Dora's discovery was used to teach future generations about the value of looking at problems from different perspectives. The kingdom's approach to problem-solving evolved. While they continued to value thorough research and exploration, they also learned to balance it with straightforward thinking. The legacy of the lost key became a guiding principle for addressing challenges with both creativity and simplicity. Years later, Dora, now an accomplished young woman, continued to use the lessons she had learned from finding the key. Her approach to solving problems was shaped by her early experience, and she became known for her ability to find simple, effective solutions to complex issues. Dora's influence helped the kingdom thrive with a renewed perspective on problem-solving. The principles of simplicity and straightforward thinking became embedded in the kingdom's culture, and the story of the lost key remained a cherished lesson. As the kingdom flourished, they always remembered the value of the obvious and the power of fresh perspectives. Dora's legacy lived on as a testament to the enduring wisdom that sometimes the simplest answers are the best.